I just want to start off shouting
Wait, why
out
are you
Jess
wearing a
Gabriel.
beanie? Why are you wearing a beanie, bro?
I mean, because I just got out the ice bath. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
just got and it looked cool. Like I look fly. So
Like
like
I seen that. Was that yesterday? You're on on your story, and I'm all like, bruh, it was. Well, I guess just over here, it's just hot.
it's
So
yeah
I'm just
we
all like, this man's wearing a beanie right now, and at least where I'm at, it's 100 degrees.
oh
So I'm
yeah
all like,
no.
why does man have a beanie on?
Well, I'm in Santa Barbara. It's not that hot, bro. It was probably I just finished my run. I just need to put something. My head was looking
Like,
crazy, but it was probably like it's been like misty over here from the ocean, so it's been pretty cool. Like in the mornings, it's like super overcast, but it's not cold. It gets
yeah,
up to probably like 80. On that run I did, it started off like nice, like 60s, but by the end it was kind of hot.
yeah.
But I got just beanie cool. That's why I rock it. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm sorry, I cut you off, bro. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I just wanted to start off the show shouting out Jess Gabriel. That's the homie from Magic Boost. Little known fact, many people don't know this. This is real. But me and Joshua's first time at Prefontaine, I remember we're doing our baton talk, asking funny questions, and Jess Gabriel comes up to me specifically, and gives me her phone number. She tells me she works for World Athletics, and I don't know that she just wants to like keep on like she likes what we're doing, wants to keep on working with us. And since then, like she's been someone who I love to just first of all, I love talking track with Jess Gabriel.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love talking to her about the women's distance specifically. I love it. I love the energy and smile that comes on her face. But also, yeah, she's always been in our corner, always pushing for all the creators. And I just love what she brings. So Grand Slam, y'all got a good one. Congratulations, Director of Marketing, Jess Gabriel at Grand Slam, man. It's exciting. It's exciting when you see the homies,
When they
leveling up
win.
like that. And when you see them in positions that you know that they're gonna really love and
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Not even nothing about money, but it's just like it's something that that's what they want to do, and that's why they're gonna elevate at it. So shout out again, Grand Slam track. Shout out Jess Gabriel, man. Happy for you. Happy for you.
There we go. Let's go. I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Possible, always with the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, and you're watching and listening to your favorite two black runners every single Two Black Tuesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Almost lost my voice on that one, but we back. We back again. Back to back weeks, man. We get back in our rhythm. We get back in our rhythm.
Hey, like they said, hey, sometimes we consistent, sometimes we not, but you better know. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, what am I saying, bro?
Hey, we here for y'all. We here for y'all at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, we coming. We coming. Like
Yes,
Deion
sir.
Sanders, we gonna be here no matter what. We coming at all times of the day. But Aaron, let's get into it, bro. Man, I keep on hitting my mic. Let's get into it. You feel me? A big announcement today on the Instagram. A big announcement even just last week, but we're really gonna get into it this week. In about 3 weeks, we
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be in the streets of New York, running through these boroughs,
Yes, sir.
uh, trying to run a marathon. Me running my first marathon, you running your second ever marathon. And I think we should just take this time. This may be a shorter pod, but really just talk about our training and everything and how it's been leading up to New York, what we're doing in New York as well. We got something fire coming that Friday that you guys need to be at. But yeah, bro, we're running New York City Marathon in like 3 weeks. That's kind of I don't know if that's kind of surreal. I don't know if it won't really hit me until we're actually like in the bus, like going there that morning. Like honestly, I think that's when it would hit me once we have to wake up like at 4 a.m. or whatever. But
Shoot.
yeah, bro, New York City Marathon coming in hot.
Yeah, no. What's surreal for me is that, you know, around this time last year, I decided that I was gonna run the LA Marathon. I needed
Mhm.
to get it off the bucket list, running a marathon. But I would have not thought that it would lead to me running the New York Marathon later in the year. So
Yeah.
like to set off the year with like being like I'm gonna run a marathon in 2024, and God willing, I'm about to run two. About to run two.
Oh,
One
that's
in
crazy.
LA, coast to two black runners, coast to coast through
Bi-coastal.
five boroughs. I love it.
Bi-coastal.
I love this chapter of my running life, and what this has opened the door to. Because obviously a door has been open if I ran one, and now I'm getting an opportunity to run another.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to just. We've been to New York multiple times, done live podcasts there, and watched the race, and the energy is unbelievable. So from being a spectator, and now I have the experience of running one, but now being able to run New York, which was like the first major marathon
Yeah.
I've ever witnessed. Honestly, the first marathon I ever just witnessed in person. It's a huge honor. It's a huge honor to be a part of it, and I'm excited for what we can as like our brand of two black runners, what that means for us and what we can bring to it. But how do you feel like that this is your first time running 26.2? Like you've been training good. Like, you've been
Come
putting
on.
in work. You look good.
Come on, come on, come on. Follow me on Strava. But before we get there, too, Friday, the day before, November 1st, well, 2 days before the New York City Marathon, we're going to have a live panel at the Marathon Expo, talking to some great individuals. We'll have more information about that on our Instagram. We'll have more information about that in the next coming weeks. But we're doing a live panel at the New York City Marathon Expo. That's a really big deal. This is like the
Yeah.
biggest marathon in the world, like one of the biggest marathon majors in the world. So many people run this year. New York City is, you guys, everyone know New York City. It's so big. It's so just out there, nothing like it on this planet. And for us to do an expo, do a live panel at this expo, it's a pretty significant thing for two black runners all in general. But for me, first 26.2 in New York City, well, just 26.2 just in general. I'm feeling good, bro. Like honestly, I may be, if anything, I may be underestimating it. If anything, I may be underestimating it. But like honestly, I think it's gonna be fun. Like that's how I'm feeling. I was telling Bimmy the other day that I was telling my fiance, hey, the other day
Hey, that's fire.
that I was all like, bro, like I feel like the only reason like this won't be fun is if I end up like cramping up, like, or maybe if I poop on myself. But if I
Ooh,
cramp up like super duper bad
it'll
and
still be
like,
fun if you cramp up. I cramped up, but it was still fun. But if you poop on yourself, no, I don't know if that. Once you get to pooping, that ain't fun no more, bro. Like stomach issues is not. I
I
think
guess
I would take cramping over stomach issues and poop any day, any day,
any day.
any day. I was cramped up on the ground last time, but I didn't. Now once did I ever have to poop on myself? If I had to
Okay.
poop on myself, I may have not finished, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, mile 20 and poop just comes out, bro. I didn't train that hard. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
What
need to
what
run.
what would be more frustrating? What would be more frustrating? Get into mile 25, bro, and you poop on yourself and you have to cross the line.
Ooh,
Or get into
I
mile
mean,
13 and you cramp up and like you can't finish. Like you just feel like I don't know if I can finish. Like you're just walking. What would be more frustrating?
that's a good question, bro. Cramping up at mile 13, like, because I did I did have a little cramp last LA around that time, but I was able to
Yeah.
like just, push through. But if I was cramped up to the fact that I couldn't finish a half marathon in, like, that's that's terrible. But pooping at mile 25, that's probably the best case scenario to poop. And if you're at mile if you're at mile 25 and you poop on yourself, there's probably no way for you to even get out but you just gotta
Yeah,
finish.
yeah, yeah. You
Like
can't
there's
like really get out of that situation. Like,
no, you just gotta finish at that point, you know. So like, if I had to poop on myself at any time in the marathon, mile 25, I could do it. I would, you know, I'd be like, all right, I would pick that. I'm like, okay, let me just finish this, you
bro,
know.
I had a conversation the other day with somebody, and well, I was just listening to a podcast. What was I listening to? I think I was listening to the Levitard show, and they're talking about porta potties and how like some people like hover over porta potties, or yeah, they're talking about tailgating. It was like, bro, I would never like if I was tailgating. The person was saying on the podcast, I would never go like I would never use the porta potty in the parking lot for a tailgate. I would hold it until I get into the stadium, which is valid points. Like going to use like a porta potties are nasty. I understand that, but just from like a runner's perspective, like the idea of a porta potty and needing to poop in a porta potty, I don't know. I feel like I have a different sentiment or just relationship with porta potties because like, bro, like I've had to, you know how many times like I've had to use a porta potty just because like there's no other resort and I wasn't just gonna be all like I'm
It's
not gonna use this porta potty. Like I have to. Like if I
it's
don't use this,
dire. It's
like
dire, bro.
you know, and then I was having this conversation and then I was like, wait, do you hover over the porta potty when you go? And then they were like, yeah, I always hover over like you don't. I was all like, bruh, like I'm already like,
Hey,
do you hover over porta potties?
that's a personal question, bro. Like, come on, nah, just kidding. No, it's you know, that's
You could
actually
always put a sheet down. You feel me? Is that nasty? Am I nasty for
for putting your bare cheeks on a porta potty.
that? Nah,
It's
bro.
it's hey, do you? I ain't
Bro,
judging. I ain't judging.
nobody
It
said
depends. It all
nobody said
depends.
bare cheeks, bro. Like I'm gonna put out some toilet paper. You feel me around it. Sometimes they have
Oh,
the
okay.
sheets.
That
Sometimes it's
sounded like you were talking about bare
hey.
cheeks.
Sometimes they don't though. Sometimes they don't. So like you feel
I don't
me?
know. I don't want this to become all about poop, but to me it's subjective. It depends on the situation. It depends on the emergency at hand. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I ain't got time to be like all clean. Like sometimes it's gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a dire. It could be a dire situation. So I don't judge nobody for if you go raw cheeks or if you just put the if
Raw
you put the
cheeks, bro.
put
What?
the toilet paper on, man. No judgment here. This is marathon talk. This is the type of stuff, you know, once you start running marathons that you really got to deal with.
Because that is one of my even when I did so going back to training, I did 20 miler this past week and it went really well. I overall on Strava they had me at like 6:57 pace, but I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
flex.
it had to be under 6:50. It had to be under 6:50 because like for like the after I hit 20, I had my watch go for like 40 minutes and then like I only had like 2 miles that were over 7:10 and then everything else was under 7 minutes. So I'm like, how's it 6:57? But that's besides the point. But I'm all like one of my biggest fears because that was really my first time really doing gels like during my run. And I was like, man, I just don't want to use the restroom like during this run. Like I don't want to get like messed up and like having to like because there's been times where I've been in the middle of the long run. It's like, dude, like I have to use it. I have to go to the sport park right now. It sucks. So like that was one of my biggest fears. And I think that's one of my biggest, not fears, but like one of my biggest concerns, even just in the marathon. Like I don't want to be in the middle of the marathon and be like, dang, I have to go to this porta potty right now. Cause that will stop so much momentum. And like once you start running again, like you're not gonna feel the same. Like your legs are probably gonna be more tired after that potentially.
Yeah, I think in LA I actually did go to the bathroom.
You did?
I think I went pee
You
for
don't
like
remember?
bro, low key you gonna find out. But
What?
I just went real quick. I just went pee real quick because for me, like, and I don't know if you think about like I went into the LA marathon and into this marathon. I'm just on like I'm just here to complete this. I'm not here
Yeah.
to run a world record time. But for people like you and me, we ran track our entire lives. We're still in somewhat shape. So like us just completing a marathon, like
Isn't
it will
crazy.
be it isn't crazy, but our time, what I'm saying is our time is just naturally gonna be like, you know, when I tell people, oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just trying
yeah,
to break three, they're like, what? That's crazy. And it's
yeah.
like, it is kind of crazy because like I'm not training crazy hard, but it's also like the pace of a 3 hour marathon is the pace of like my normal everyday run.
And
You
just
know,
our standard and perception of what is fast is just much greater than like a
yeah,
3 hour marathon. I'm not even saying that I'm capable of running 2 hours 30 minutes,
no,
but
but it's
I know people that have done that, and I'm all like, I know the work. Like that's really
yeah,
fast. Like that's somebody
yeah,
like training, doing a lot of doing 100-mile weeks, like trying to make.
yeah.
I'm not doing 100-mile weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
So it's
sorry.
a good challenge. So it's a great marker to for I think people like you and me. Like you used to run in college, you ran in college, maybe you ran a little bit competitive afterwards, and now you just kind of run for fun. And it's like, you could still go like, do some runs and some workouts, get in shape in a couple weeks. So it's a good standard um to put. But I forgot where I was about to go with that. I was gonna land it somewhere. But
But we can go into this though, and
yeah,
I'll probably
I
come back
forgot.
to you
My bad,
because
y'all.
I asked ChatGPT because we didn't really know what to really go through and everything. And maybe I shouldn't reveal this, but I'm going to reveal this because when we have ideas, sometimes you can use the wonderful tools of technology. ChatGPT just like, bro, what should we talk about today? You feel me? We got the New York City Marathon coming up, 3 weeks until the big day, the Sunday of November 3rd. It's going to be exciting. The 2 days after that is the election. What's a bigger day, New York City Marathon or an election? And maybe the Potts brothers doing the marathon. So, Aaron, first question from ChatGPT asking us, bro, why did we choose the New York City Marathon specifically
Shoot.
from your perspective? Why are we choosing this one? And like for us and for you, what personal or cultural significance does running the New York City Marathon particularly hold? Because this definitely is it's a big deal to be at this marathon.
Yeah, I would say how it kind of came to be was I did a fireside chat for the New York Roadrunners. Shout out our homie John on the social team. Shout out Ted and just bro, shout out to New York Roadrunners. I can't believe that they listen to the podcast like that enough to where they would bring me on for a fireside chat. Like awesome. And I always in the back of my head, I was like, man, like it would be really cool. I feel like I even thought this when I did LA, but I was like, it'd be really cool if me and Joshua, two black runners, did, a marathon together. Um, and the New York Marathon in particular, if you've been there, it's one of the most diverse races because New York is just such a diverse city. And then you go to mile 18, they got a DJ out there, all the black running clubs are there. Black running club and crew culture out there
Yeah,
is
bro.
huge. I remember the first time going there and then seeing the DJ setup, going to the Harlem Run shakeout, seeing all these different black people in clubs. I was like, what? Like this is the culture out here is
Yeah.
just insane and crazy. And it was something I was like, man, like, I've always like, dang, I want to be like a part of that. I want to have my imprint, or I want to help elevate that, and connect that to track and field, connect that to culture, be a part of that movement. So that definitely plays a big part of us being so excited uh, to be able to go here and participate in this marathon. And it even goes into the panel because I'm just gonna say what we're gonna be doing at the panel is finding, run club leaders from different boroughs and, talking about that culture and how that came to be, the significance of that, and why is it such a strong culture there. So there's a lot of things. That's how I was honestly introduced into run club culture and run crew culture, was going to
Yeah.
New York and witnessing it firsthand. That's what I just knew it was. And then one of my good friends who ran with me on the Aggies, Gabby, she was on Rerun Uptown. So I saw them and I see her going to the things. I was like, oh, this is dope. Like I want to be a part of this. So yeah.
No, yeah. It's really cool to see this come full circle. And I think that's what makes running for New York to be the first one that we're doing together is really significant because that was the first marathon we really went to when we first went and interviewed. The first year we interviewed
Aleph,
Alafine, Luis Grujalva, Steph
Steph, we interviewed a
Bruce,
lot of
and
people.
Keller Taylor,
Kellen.
and then we watched the marathon, and like that was like in the very first beginning stages of us like traveling a lot. Like that was
Yeah.
really. it's really that was really like a big deal because that's when my appendix burst that year, and like I could have kept on running and everything, but I decided like no, I'm just gonna go more into this instead of like running more collegiately instead of like and doing more journalism stuff. And then even when you look into the insights, our most popular city, I don't have it right in front of me, but usually like New York City is like our third most popular city. And I think that has to do because like we've been to the New York City Marathon so many times to do live podcast there before. And also I spent 3 months there earlier this year. So like there is an audience in New York City, also in like Eugene, Oregon, and Portland, Oregon. There is an audience like particularly just there because those are sites that we've consistently been to in the past 4 years of doing this podcast. So for New York City to be the first one to do and for it to be the largest one is really just this is the largest marathon consistently in the world. That is an accomplishment in itself to be able to have two black runners on a stage, like I think black people and black culture more and more is being inside of running culture, and we're seeing the more proliferation of that over the past couple years. But to have the name two black runners attached to uh, your last panel on Friday night before the New York City Marathon in the Expo, that wasn't happening in 2019. So that's a pretty big deal to have the honor of sort of leading that and being a part of that change. So that's why I was like, man, we gotta do New York. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, and I do think that this is going to open up more opportunities for us to like have an impact in the running world. I think that there's things that we can do at New York that we can maybe do at LA one day, or that we can do at Boston. There's just so much. There's so much cool things though. I want to point out that there's already so many black creators specifically in the running world doing so
Yeah.
many cool things within this space. And I would just love to just help with any way possible with the things that are already happening, and to elevate and be able to tell those stories even more. So I'm happy to be in the mix.
So you kind of just answered this question that ChatGPT even had of just like how does running this race fit into our mission of elevating Black voices? And you can kind of expand more on that if you want, but then also just what does it mean for you to be two Black runners and be in the world's biggest marathon?
Dude, I mean, another thing to point out is Ted Metellus, the only black race director of a major,
Yeah.
is also leading the charge. Someone that we've met some years ago. Someone we've always looked up to, and give high praise for what he's doing and pushing forward. But yeah, it connects to our mission to connect running to culture. And there's already a bunch of people out here that are doing this. I feel like when we first started, I don't know if the right word is ignorant, but we just didn't know of the people that were out here doing these things.
Yeah.
Now, over the years, they've came in more and more into fruition. So one thing that we can do is be a part of connecting you, our audience, to these people, so you can start to realize we're not just two black runners. We're not the only two black runners.
Mm.
That's a strong name. It's a statement. It's our perspective, but we're not saying we're the only two black runners. We are two black runners, but there are many more out doing cool things just like us, and we want to be a part of bridging the gap, and bringing those stories to the forefront. So that's what we're going to be doing with this panel. And it's something that like you're just going to see us just I mean, we already do that authentically, but you're going to see more and more of it the more we get engulfed into just track and field, general running culture. I think there's so many areas that two black runners, even if it isn't us, it was another two black runners, there's no limits on what we can do within this track and field running footwear industry. I want to connect them all because I think there's a through line in all of these spaces,
Yep.
you see Black people, when you really get into it, you see Black people at the front leading the culture. So it's like, how do we connect all of these things to share that there are these opportunities for people that look like us and have this perspective to us? And if you're about that and you want to support that, come through to the panel, tell a friend, give us a like on the podcast, thumbs up. But that's really what we're trying to accomplish here.
And I think that's an important distinction. And like, I don't think we ever really even touched on that in the podcast, but it's because it was never intentional. Like it wasn't our intentional. It wasn't intentional to like not leave out the Two Black Runners podcast, or call ourselves, oh, here comes the Two Black Runners. It's like, no, here comes Two Black Runners. It's
Yeah.
always been nebulous. And like, obviously, it's connected to Aaron and Joshua Potts because like we have that name and we're doing the podcast and we're telling our story personally, but it's never been the Two Black Runners because Two Black Runners is really an impact for the voiceless out there, for the people that didn't feel like they had a voice, in order
Yeah.
to motivate and inspire them to feel like their voice can be heard. And that's what at a certain point, like when before Two Black Runners and before I was doing Running Report, I didn't see our faces on the internet when it came to talk about running like whole lot. I didn't really see it at all. Like I really can't recall nobody. I can't
No,
recall
I can't.
nobody. I'm
Nah.
just being honest. I'm
Only
being
the
honest.
only people I can recall is the people on NBC. But outside of NBC, there was
Yeah.
not no Black people on any type of track and field or running platform doing these type of things that we're seeing. Even there was no influencers either. There was no Tommy runs yet. There was none of that. There was none of that.
Hella.
There you go. But then that's the thing. See, that's the thing though. And that is the thing right there. There was some people doing it, but we weren't privy to it. There wasn't support behind it. We weren't seeing it, you
Yeah.
know? And the more we've got onto this journey, we start to find out there is people like that. So there's someone like you at home that looks like you, that's Black, young kid running distance, thinking that he's an only, when
No.
really there's this whole entire world that we got to bring to him.
And Jameson.
Jameson, nah, yeah, that's the go. Hold up, Jameson
Jameson,
Michael
I
to
think, was
go.
the
Nah,
only.
that's the go. Day one. Nah,
That
he
was
was the one. He was the
Yeah.
one doing it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but like there really was no one like that. But now the list can go on, and you can have several Two Black Runners per se, or several people being that voice from Ray's take, even though man be controversial at times, to be Anson, to T.R.
To
Williams,
Aaron
to Caitlin
Brown.
Hutchinson, Aaron Brown. Yeah, bro. Like those are some of the most influential voices in the track and field space now, like over a flow track and let's run. Like Aaron Brown and a race take can move even more needles, which is crazy. So it's amazing to see that and to be able to impact that change. But we've always done it in our own way, and this way being now like doing the marathon has always been in a way of like trying to connect the sports side to the hobby jogger as well. Hobby jogger, I know that'd be offensive to some of y'all, so no disrespect, you feel me?
I don't
But
even know. I used to think that was offensive, but now I'm not even sure.
all right, so let's get into the training aspect to the racing aspect. We talked about. I think we went deep on that. Unless Aaron, you had something else to really add, but man, how's racing been? Any challenges so far, bro? Just how's the buildup been? Just going
My
on.
build-up's been trash. I ain't even
But
gonna cap.
but let's go like compared to
Oh,
like
okay.
what you thought the compared to what you thought this buildup was going to be like in the beginning. I remember when we first signed up to like really, when did we first sign up to like do this?
Let me
Oh,
see.
it was like 3 months ago or so.
Maybe July or was it August?
I think it was July. I feel like
All
it
right.
was
I'm
July.
looking back at my Strava so I can really see what my buildup was looking like.
But like from that time of when like, all right, man, we're gonna do this New York City Marathon, let's go, to now, how do you feel like it's been?
Dude, it's been tough just because like I've had a hectic life in general. Honestly, like I was just talking to Emma about this. I really haven't had like time to process a lot of things that I've had going on recently. And like once I hit May, it was busy season for work and two bike runners, and just stuff was happening, like in general. And I was like traveling every single month from May all the way up until September. So like it was just like it just felt like a hectic time, and there's a lot of like different changes going on in my life. So it's been hard. It was hard to like balance it, but it's also like he's just like things pile. It felt like things
Yeah.
piling, piling on more than anything. So like I knew it was gonna be tough, you know, but I was like, yo, I ain't gonna say no to this opportunity. Like I think it's just a cool opportunity. A lot of people really want to run New York. It's so hard to get into.
Yeah.
So to be able to get into it, I jumped at the chance. I knew going into it that September was going to be the hardest month for me, just because I had already planned a vacation, and I knew I may have been going to Detroit, and my birthday was that time. Like there was just, and like yeah, among other things. So that month was trash, and I had like a 2 week. I had a great 3 weeks for a second, or 3 or 4 weeks where I was killing it, and I had 2 weeks where I kind of completely fell off. But I one thing I told y'all, I think the marathon is about how you it's all about adversity. Whenever no matter what, when you run a marathon, at some point in that race, you're gonna deal with adversity. And it's like, how are you gonna respond to it? You know, and adversity and a buildup comes in many different forms. So right now I'm responding to that adversity by locking in, making sure I'm eating right, making sure I'm going to sleep on time, making sure I'm doing the extra stuff, the stretching, the take an ice bath before this to make sure I make it to that line healthy.
Serious.
Because I've ran this distance, this is a serious thing, bro. You didn't see me cramping up last time. This is my life. My body is on the line. I was after the LA marathon, my knee was messed up out of nowhere. I thought it was good, and out of nowhere it was hurting. I don't want those problems. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, right now I'm just trying to realign and like make sure I lock in these next couple of weeks to make sure that I have it in my legs. But I do have a lot of confidence coming off of running, knowing that I've ran the distance before, and I know what my body is gonna be put through and how my body will respond to running far. That gives me a lot of confidence. Like I'm not, I'm definitely, I think everyone underestimates it your first marathon. Like, how
Yeah.
could you not? You've just never ran that far. So
Yeah.
you don't know how your body is going to completely respond, like no matter how hard you train, like you don't know how your body's gonna respond. So yeah. What
Have you
about you
done
though? What are you gonna say? What?
have you
Go ahead.
done any workouts like at all? Like
No, I mean yeah, I've done some workouts. I mean, I'm probably not gonna do much at this point. Like I just done like fartleks, like 3 on, 2 off, but that was like weeks ago. And then
yeah.
I started off my training just doing like 300-meter hill repeats, and it was just like you just run easy, medium, fast, kind of up like a gradual hill. I've been really trying to make sure I get hills in for this, but that's how I started off my block. That's something I used to do when I was on the Aggies. You just run up and then you jog down, you run up. And during that, I hurt myself doing that. Like it kind of like tweaked my hamstring, and that was like a setback that I had. So like I haven't really gotten to do as much. I'm fine now with that part. But that was like another setback I had. I haven't been able really to do like crazy workouts or nothing, but like I said, from running LA before, I'm pretty confident that I could run pretty much probably around the same time or faster, because like it's not like the foot speed going. I just gotta make sure that my endurance is there. Um, but yeah, man, you just gotta lock in, bro. Stay hard. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, David
I
Goggins.
mean, I've been doing a lot of core though. I be on that, bro. I be doing. I have my little routine I do after That's where I think that's what I can control. I can control my nutrition. I can
Yeah.
control, and I can do as much core and mobility as possible these last three. I can't catch up on miles though. Like I can
No.
only do so much in the mileage and the workout, but that stuff is within me. Like I have that ability, but I need to do my core, my mobility, my recovery, my nutrition, so I can be healthy as possible and able to run as efficiently as possible. So can match my body can match like my engine, because my engine can take me there. But if my body isn't there, I'm gonna be so messed up after this, and I ain't trying to be messed up like that. Like
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. For me, like comparing to where I thought it would go, honestly, I'm in.
I feel like you chilling, bro. I feel like you good.
Yeah, I'm chilling. Like I don't think I thought it would exactly go like this. It definitely helps because someone reached out and it was all like, "Hey, like just from posting on Strava, they're all like, I would make a plan for you for like my last month." And so that kind of helped because it kind of like motivate me, but not much has really changed from what I was doing. Really, like in August, all I was really doing, I was just doing like a slow build up. I haven't been running a whole lot of mileage, just trying to run like at first I was really just running 5 days a week, trying to run like 40 miles in the week. And then I would just run 10 on the Wednesdays. And then on Saturdays, I would run like 12 or 13. Like that's literally all I did in August. And then the other days, like I would just fill it in just before I would hit up to like 40 miles or even like 34 miles. Like I was just trying to make sure that I got like long runs in though. So like running like 10 on like
Yeah,
Wednesday, just so that like I get used to like running
midweek
long.
long run.
Yeah, yeah. So I made sure, but even though like with 40, you don't really need a midweek long run, but I'm like, I need these long efforts. And then I really started to put in like kind of like what you call it, like like not tempo, like more like threshold runs in there. Cause I really just want to break 3 hours. So I'm all like, let me just try and run around like 6:15-ish, 6:20 pace. And then when I started doing that, I was all like, dang, bro, I'm in pretty good shape. Like
It's that
I'm looking at
base.
I'm looking at my Strava, like on August 27th, I did 7 miles at 6:20, like at like 6:20, which like if I don't know, that probably wasn't hard for me back when I was in college, but like it was kind of hard for me to hold 6 minute pace, at times. So to be able to like to hold like 6:20 for 7 miles, I started to realize like I am in pretty good shape. But I didn't have setbacks, but it was more just like my knee was kind of like bugging in the beginning, but I really just started implementing more doing lunges before and really like trying to make sure I stretch after doing like a mid long and like making sure after I do workouts, like, okay, bro, like you got to stretch, like, don't like get lost in that. But overall, it's surprising that this build has gone as good as it has so far because like it has been like a wild 2 months for me of just like everything happening, like from getting engaged and then just everything else like behind the scenes from that, which hopefully we'll be able to tell on like the podcast one day, but not right now at the moment. But there's just been a lot like happening. But I think it definitely tells just how running can be such a great outlet for all things of like, especially like for me, for having that time to like um kind of distract yourself in like a great practice, of being able to be by yourself and just think, but then also a great escape where I get to listen to like the Levitard show or just something else. And but then I'm also listening to like with the Perrys, and they're talking and speaking like the gospel and just talking about good principles in life, just overall. So like it's definitely been refreshing over the past couple months. They're like really like dive back into doing that like daily while exercising because it's cool just when you listen to a podcast and you're in a car or anything, but doing it while you're on a run, like honestly, I look more forward to that than doing it in a podcast, to be honest, which is weird.
Yeah, yeah. I also feel like as you just get older, bro, it's like why don't you just go work out, bro? Like, what you doing?
Yeah,
I mean, especially if you're older I would say, excuse me, if you're older and you have a stable job and stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, bro, just go get a work. Why aren't you working out? Like, just go get a run in real quick. You know what I'm
But
saying?
but yeah, yeah, for sure. But it's so
Like,
much more better when you have something that you're training for, with
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like that has
I
been
get
such a great addition as well. Cause that's what I was doing. Like I was like just running the run, but then once we got the marathon, I'm like, oh dang, yeah, I get to like
it's
train for
fun.
something, I get to
Training is
visualize
fun.
something. And like so that's been cool like having that extra motivation is something that's really cool, just overall.
Yeah,
Uh
I've been watching Haji no Ippu. No Ippu, or
I've
it's
been
like a
thinking about
boxing
watching that
anime.
since you recommended it, and now it keeps
Bruh,
on. I just It be on my Netflix like all the time. I
it's
just finished
fire.
watching How I Met Your Mother. I rewatched like How I Met Your Mother.
Oh,
Fire show.
I've watched that like 2 times as well.
But go ahead. My bad.
But no, it's just a great. It's so much, especially the first half. But I'm almost done with it. But it's so motivational. Like that's what I was watching, and as my build up for this, and that was getting me hyped. It's like a kid that gets bullied, and then he transforms to a boxer, and like boxing, in my opinion, which is biased because I was raised by a boxer, boxing is very similar to like track and field and just like endurance sports and like
Hmm.
the mental game, having to push yourself, overpower people and like just I don't know, just being like out there alone. So like highly recommend Haji no Ippu. Great anime. If you training for something right now, put that on. That's gonna get you straight. I promise you.
All right. So as we
Oh,
start closing out, we're gearing up towards race day. It's coming more. It's coming more. It's going to be here faster than we ever know it. Race day strategy. What are we thinking, Aaron?
oh,
Are we looking to PR? How are we going to prepare
I
for
mean,
Central Park when we get to that part of the course? Queensboro Bridge. I know that's a tough part where it's kind of quiet, little hilly over there too. What's our strategy looking like?
I think our strategies are different, bro. You have a way cleaner build up than me. I straight up took off 2 weeks, was in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I think you have a way. You might have a different strategy than me, and I've ran one before. So for me, for example, I ran 16 because I was like, you know what? I got 3 weeks left. Didn't run a long run last week or the week prior. I Before that though, I was at 14. So I was on schedule to hit 16 before I took 2 weeks off. So I was like, it's time. I gotta run these 16. And I went to a spot that I knew was hilly, ended up averaging 7 minute pace. There was a lot of downhill, but it destroyed me. I'm sore as heck. I took an ice bath before this.
Bruh.
Sore as heck. I needed that in my legs though. I needed my legs to feel that pain, start practicing my nutrition. So for me, I guess my PR is 310, which honestly I'm not really that happy about that because I was cramping up crazy. But I think I could honestly I think it's that 7:11 pace. And I think I can beat that if I don't cramp up, like to be honest. So I would say my number Meb, I learned this from Meb's book. You always have like your A, B, and C goal. Number one goal is to break 3 hours. Number two goal is to get under 310 PR. Number three, and then my last goal, if I didn't hit any of those, what would be my goal?
Have fun.
I'm gonna have fun. Maybe like not finish. Fuck, finish. You know what I'm saying? Finish. Because if I'm running slower than 310, at that point I'm just surviving. So it might just be to finish, or I have to think about what that last one. But breaking three, so my strategy is gonna be running very conservative
Yeah.
because of my training. Like I'm gonna try and go out and because of my training and my experience, I'm gonna run very conservative. So like I'll probably go out like 6:52 is the pace. I'm probably gonna go out pretty slow, like above 7, like 7:05, like a
Okay.
run. I'm gonna go out like I'm on a run, bro. Like I'm telling you, and I'm gonna use the first half. The first half, like trust all the vets listening. The first 6 miles, 6 to 8 miles, I'm going conservative, and I'm just making sure my nutrition is right, making sure I'm getting in the goos, making sure I'm drinking enough electrolytes, getting my sodium intake. I might take a banana because I probably will cramp up again, but I'm trying to prevent that. I'm trying to be passing people the last 6 because I know I'm just trying to break 3, but if I see my boy Jared Butler, shout out Jared, he just ran 257, bro. If that dude beat me, I feel like I'm putting him on blast. When he beat me, I will be mad. There's no way. There's no
That's
way.
crazy.
I'll
That's
be mad.
crazy, bro. What?
Is that crazy? No, that's my dog though. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you're gonna be up there. There's gonna be people beating you. Trust me, I've been in it. You on the floor. You cramping up. You look up and you like that dude. How is these people beating me, bro? Like this mom shouldn't be beating me. You know what I'm saying? But hey, shout out to her. Shout out Chris Chavez. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, are you lucky,
oh
Chris?
wait, no, wait, I
Lucky
gotta
Chris
change
ain't in
my
this
goal.
race, bro.
A goal is to beat Chris. My A goal is to beat Chris Chavez's time. What am I saying?
Oh,
That's
I
my
don't know
A
what
goal.
is. We gotta find out what Chris's
We gotta find out what Chris
course
Chavez's
record.
time. That's my number 1 goal is to beat that. Number 2 will be to break 3, and the number 3 will be under 310. Those are the goals right there. Those are the goals. That's
I'm dead,
better.
bro. I'm
That's
dead.
better.
For me, honestly, I just want to break 3. Like honestly, I think that's pretty much my goal. I think I can break 3 hours in the marathon. I think at first I wasn't sure if I could break it on this course. Like honestly, like building up, but the more as I do this training, I'm all like, oh yeah, I think I can. I think I can do it. Like I don't
You can
think it's gonna
definitely do it,
be.
bro.
I don't think it's gonna be like super crazy if I'm like feeling good. Ran 20 miles this past week, like I was saying, and it was good. And like my elevation gain was like 900, and then I looked up the course. The elevation gain on New York City is 800, and I did that for 20 miles at 900, and I felt good. And I went to like mile 18, and my legs were starting to feel like, oh shoot, like this is kind of crazy. But the fact that I was able to do 20, you feel me, and like I
It's
still
different
felt
after you hit that 20 mark, though. I'm telling you, man. Make sure your
I was
nutrition
finishing
right.
uphill. I was finishing uphill.
You might feel good, you might be breathing good, but something happens to that body, man. That's the only
We'll
thing I'm
see.
gonna tell you, bro.
We'll
Just
see.
look
But
out for that.
I think I don't know. I'm gonna have to rethink my race plan because like we have to run somewhat together. So maybe just the first 10 miles, I may
Just
just
chill
treat
with
it.
me. If you feel good, I'll run
After
on
10, I may
pace.
just start picking it up. Like,
Hey
or
man, just be careful, man. Don't get there's gonna be a point in the race where you're gonna be like, ah, you know that one song, Feel the Rain on what you're gonna be like, I feel amazing right now. Let's go. Let's go. And you're gonna start running like 610s.
nah.
Uh,
But
uh.
only thing I'm scared of is if I just run, I don't want to get like a whole bunch of like sevens though. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to
No,
run.
you gotta look at it by like, yeah.
I don't
Just
want to
go
run a whole
out.
bunch of sevens because then I'm gonna have to be running a whole lot of low sixes.
Well,
And
just
like that's really gonna hurt me because I'm not really good at fartleks. Well, I'm not good at tempos, but
bro,
therefore,
like it's just gonna just look at the halftime. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to get to
yeah,
the half around like probably between 125 and 130.
yeah, yeah.
Like for
So
you probably might want to be closer to 125 and then die. For me, I think I want to be closer to like 128 and run even.
yeah,
Like I
so
just think if I don't cramp, for me, I'm just like if I don't cramp at all, I'm breaking 3 hours like pretty easily. But I really don't know if I'm gonna. I really feel like I'm probably gonna cramp up again, to be honest. But I'm just gonna push
bro,
through it.
you don't think you can run the first 10 miles at what's call it? Oh my gosh, it's just in my head.
$650.
No, just at an hour 8. Just run the first 10 miles in an hour 8.
What is it? What I know I can do it.
That's like 655 or something.
I'm not worried about doing it, bro. I'm just trying to conserve my energy.
No, but I'm just saying that's what we
65
should
is
do,
good.
bro. Run the first 10 miles at like 655. Like let's try to run 68 minutes. And then if you wanna then I don't know if I'm gonna speed up, but I'm just gonna be like, all right, like that will be on good enough pace for me where like we're chilling, bro. If we run 68 for we're chilling. That's like yeah, we're chilling, bro. You feel me?
Honestly, you know what I'm excited about though too though? There are gonna be a lot of people like my boy Sid at Pioneers, my boy Jared, who I just like called out. My bad, bro.
That was jacked up, bro.
I think Tommy. I think Tommy is gonna run.
It's like his fifth marathon of the year, bro. God.
Um, yeah. There's a lot of people like that I'm low key trying to just cook with. I'm just trying to hop in with them and be running with them the whole time and talking and making video. Like last time I was making videos. I'm trying to make videos again. I'm trying to be on, y'all want to see Crescents on the Run in New York with all the black creators? I got you. You know what I'm saying? So
Should I
we
should
gonna
I
have fun.
should I run with music?
I was honestly thinking I ran 16 yesterday with my headphones in. That might make you run too fast, to be honest.
You think so?
Low key. But
I don't
honestly
really.
though,
I
New
listened to a
York is so
podcast the
hype.
first one.
New York is so hype though.
It may
So
calm
I'm
me
like,
down.
I kind of want to hear the people though.
No, yeah, facts. That's low key maybe sacrilegious if I do it on my first marathon, but I am sort of thinking about it because that is a long time, bro. 3 hours.
Bro,
Like,
you just don't think what's kind of cool is like I just when I ran it, you just don't think about it, bro. You just go.
yeah,
Like it's too much, it's too far for you to be like, how much longer do I have? You just don't think, you just go, bro. Like you're just like, well, I'm just gonna run until I can't run anymore. It's kind of crazy, bro. Like it's kind of crazy. I was just like, you're at 13 or 10, and you're just like, I'm just going. There's no reason to think about how far I've gone. That's how much further
yeah.
there is to go.
I think the most excited part I am for it though is getting in the flow state. I think that is
Gotta be
really
careful.
exciting for me because I never been in a race that large just in my life. Like who else? When are you ever in a race that large in your life? You know, when there's 48,000 finishers and there's people around you the entire time. So
You gotta
like
be
to get in a
careful,
flow.
bro.
No, but I'm saying not in the beginning. That's why first 10 miles were chilling. But like when I'm around like mile 17 and I'm all like everyone's kind of like someone in the corner is like cramping up, this other dude's like
It's
screaming,
crazy.
and like these other guys are locked in. I'm kind of dying. That somebody's like, hey, come on, man, come on. I'm
It's
kind of hyped for
crazy. It
that
really
part.
be like that.
Like I'm gonna be motivated because I was telling myself the other day because I was at a light. Sometimes I'd be at a light and like when I'm definitely doing a long runs, I just like scream. I'm just like come
Bro,
on.
that's
Like
literally me. If
I'm gonna be doing
I'm
that in the marathon and I'm gonna be getting hyped.
gotta be
Like
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what happened to me. I did that on my long run the other day. I was running, I just was at the yell real quick. Ah, I did that in the LA marathon. You guys know the story. Literally, I was running. I ran up to this guy. I was like, let's go. Let's go. Then I pulled up, bro. But then I caught back up to him. I caught back up to him. I was like, yeah, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, I was on the ground again, cramping up. So it's
bruh.
like you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with all that.
Yeah.
I'm on control. I gotta control my emotions this time, bro, because that was different, man.
Yeah, that may be my plan. My plan may be we'll see, we'll see. But before we get out of here, I'm surprised we got to this almost to an hour, like honestly, but it is interesting. First marathon that we're both running. Post race plans. What are your post race plans? Any post marathon celebrations? And any
Shoot.
I don't know. What are we flying out the shoot? We don't know yet. We'll see.
Uh,
What next? What's next after running this marathon, you think? Or is that too far?
shoot. For me, bro. I mean, okay, I'm gonna have my whole Hoka. So my whole Hoka family is gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got all the, run crews and clubs. So we gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have fun afterwards. Well, it depends on how bad I'm feeling, but I'm gonna have fun. But then after that, I think running wise, I'm gonna take the rest of November off. I'm not gonna run a step. And then I think what you mean?
Dang, this man said.
Yeah, I'm done. I have to know. I know, bro. I know how I'm gonna feel. Trust
Oh
me, I
man,
know.
bro. He said, I'm done, bro.
You remember how
What?
I was looking after? I know how my
No
body's.
cooldown? I was like,
Nah, I'm after that. I'm gonna take off the whole month, and then and then I'm honestly already kind of thinking about LA, to be
yeah.
honest, because then that gives me December, January, February. That's 3 months.
Mom and Caleb are gonna do it, so
So like if I'm feeling my body's feeling okay in December, like I want to train harder. So I might hit up some people to get me straight, but I want to see what I can run if I train a little bit harder than this.
when we went to the marathon before, did we leave the night of?
No, I don't think.
We always left on
No, no.
Monday.
We left on Monday. I think at least I feel like the one year when we went, because remember we went to like that random on party.
Yeah, I remember that, but I'm just thought like I remember. I guess we just stayed like a full day on Monday, huh? Because I
I
think,
think you and John stayed, or you and or one of the times I feel like you and John or you and David stayed longer than me, and I left
oh
like first thing in the
yeah,
morning.
yeah, no, yeah. Me and David stayed because we got the
You guys went to go look around, and I
yeah,
left
we
in the
got the
morning though.
nonstop. That's why. Because I'm like, I remember like being at night in Ontario coming back. But for me, post race, I don't know what celebration is, but we'll see. I guess wherever Aaron will have the plots of where we're going. So
I'm gonna have
uh,
the plots, bro. There's
it's
gonna be
gonna
a lot. There's gonna be options, but it's all depends on how I can walk. You know.
yeah, this is gonna be our first time like how we feel afterwards. So that's gonna be
That's what
definitely
I'm
a different
saying.
response. I may just want to like go to sleep low key, but I
But
don't
low
gotta do
key, your energy might be so high. Like I was like kind of amped
possibly.
after, like
We'll see.
I
We'll
don't know.
see. But after that, I'm pretty sure I'll still run in November. Hopefully, I feel good by God's grace. Everything goes well and we're happy. What I want to do next year, well, we'll see. I want to do LA. It's on the same day as my birthday. I believe it's the 50th year of LA too, and I'll be turning
Oh wow.
25. So on that day of the LA Marathon. So I think doing LA Marathon would be cool, but it all just really depends how everything lines up. But what I do want to do next spring, I want to break 16 minutes in the 5K. I know I can do
That's
that.
light.
So I just never done it. So I would love to train for that. And soon enough, I want to break 15 in the 5K. And I think that's possible.
We're about to train for real. Okay
No, yeah,
then.
I'll for real have to train. I'm
All right,
definitely not gonna.
man.
I don't think I want to do it over 50 miles or nothing though. But
All
I
right,
want to.
man. Well, I gotta start training to break 150 then.
I'm just saying, but I don't. I don't. You think 150 is way harder than breaking 15? Like that's way
Nah.
harder, bro. Like
Yeah,
what the
no,
heck?
definitely that is way harder. You got to be serious. I was
But
just
like
playing.
I'm seeing like Daniel Simmons break running like 13:47 in the 5K, and I'm just all like, bro, this high schooler can do this, bro. Like I'm not saying it's breaking 15 is easy. I'm just saying like
You got
I should.
grown man strength. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, man. I'm in way better
Yeah.
shape now. Like, I should be able to. Like, if this man ran 13 minutes for a 5K or whatever, like, bro, I could break 15. I can run 14:59. Like, just give me in a good heat, have some good endurance under me, and get some
You know what
speed.
I really want to do, man. And if somebody wants to invite me onto their team, you can invite me. I want to do the speed project.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
I want to do the speed project. It seems like it's a lot of work to put that together. So like I'm trying to just be on the team, but if
No,
somebody want to invite me onto their team, I got you. I can hold my own. That would be dope. I would be dope to do.
bro. You know what I seen other day? I'm trying to pull it up. This dude Steven Magnus.
Yeah.
He was on like he be posting these things on Instagram. And let me read you what this says. And I was like, wait, this is kind of crazy. At first, I was like, this is cool. He said, as I prepare to turn 40 soon, my fitness goal is to be able to beat freshman in high school, Steve. So when he was a freshman, that's not an easy task. You know what this man ran his freshman year of high school in the mile?
Oh, he was fast, huh?
He ran
Did he run like 409?
4:21.
Oh man, that's nah. I don't.
I'm all
Hey,
like, bro,
he's
that's
a
kind of
beast though.
crazy.
He was a beast though.
Yeah.
Like but 421 at 47, that's different. What
4:21 at 40. I'm all like, bro, that's kind of, I don't know.
40 or 47?
No, 40, 40.
Okay, okay, okay.
I don't want to
That's
be
different.
training that hard when I'm 40. I'm sorry. Like I understand like that's a cool thing to do. And maybe that's gonna be easy for him because he's ran
It might
420.
not be that. It's not as honestly. I don't think it's that. It's not. Might not be that hard. He might not have to train. I mean, if he's been just training since if he's never stopped training,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
I don't know how hard he's been training like throughout this entire like past 20 years. Or maybe like past 10 years. Because like you have to train hard, bro. Like you have to be
Yeah,
running hard workouts, be running 420.
but yeah, oh yeah. Now training hard is hard, but training hard could be fun though too. It's just like what else he got to do? You know what I mean? Though,
Yeah,
just go to
yes.
track and run some repeats.
Like for me, I think I could at 40, I could beat freshman Joshua in
Yeah,
That's
I think
just
I could beat freshman Aaron at 40.
that's four. What I 442, 440 something like that.
Oh, I
442.
only ran 450, so I could beat that.
Yeah,
And then in the 800, I don't even know what I ran, but I know I ran 450. I know I could beat that one on 40. Like
yeah.
if I
I'm
keep
glad.
running,
Yeah,
if I take care of my body, I should be able to beat that until I'm like close to 50.
maybe we'll see, bro.
I don't know, man. I be hanging out with some old heads, man, that be doing those type of things, bro. Like I'm like,
Just
okay, you just
different.
gotta keep on running. Yeah, you just got. I'm like, oh, they just keep running. Like you just gotta keep. You don't gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like I just gotta do a couple things a week to make sure you keep a little bit of your speed, but you just build up the base. You surprise yourself. Like, oh shoot, like I'm not that out of shape.
Yeah, kind of crazy, kind of crazy. But New York City Marathon, November 3rd, November 1st. Join us at the New York City Marathon panel at the Expo, 6:30 p.m., November 1st. We're going to be there interviewing some of the biggest clubs in New York City, Black-led clubs. We'll be talking about it more in the next coming weeks leading up to the New York City Marathon. If you listen this far, give us a like on YouTube, review the podcast, share your experience at your first marathon, at the New York City Marathon. Give us some advice. We're novices. Like, we're really, for real, we're novices. Give us some advice. You feel me? Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, because you listened this far. So, like, why wouldn't you give it 5 stars? Aaron, anything else before we get out of here?
Now I appreciate y'all for tapping in past 2 weeks, had real one type conversations. Um, but yeah, follow us on Strava too, man. Super Hot Pots. Follow me on Strava, the journey. I've been trying to post a little bit more of what I've been doing on these little runs and stuff like that. But thanks again for just sticking in with us, tapping in with us every single week.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Let's get it. We back.